Good morning, everybody. I pray that you all are having a wonderful and thankful Tuesday. Excuse me, on today. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020, and we are really breezing through these months with everything that's happening, everything that's going on. We're just breezing right through, and before we know it, we're going to be hitting May. So, as always, I just wanted to, just make sure everybody is okay. Make sure everybody is good. If my speech sounds a little slower than normal, it's because I'm battling a toothache right now. I literally just took some medicine for it. And so hopefully, you all can still be able to hear me, still be able to see me. I just have one of my students um, call in. So good morning, Brittany. Um,
Good morning.
yes, thank you for joining me this morning. Hopefully, more will join us. I keep saying the call is being recorded, but this video is recording. So just make sure, Brittany, that you keep your phone on mute if possible, and just make sure that you're, just paying attention to the lesson for today, because we are just going to be doing some practicing on identifying the main idea. So if you are watching this playback on yesterday, we talked about main idea. So make sure that you watch that playback video on what the main idea is and all of that good stuff. All right. And so I have someone else joining me this morning. Good morning. And I'm glad that you're on mute, but you can take yourself off of mute to say good morning if you like. Um, I don't know who bossed up in this is, but nonetheless, I'm glad that you're here. Um, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, oh, hi, Raven. Thank you so much for joining me this morning as well, dear. I just want to acknowledge everybody that just comes through. And again, thank y'all so much. But I'm not going to be before y'all too long because again, I have a toothache and my tooth is killing me. So I just took some medicine. So if it looks like I'm just that's probably why. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so let me go ahead and share the screen here. Right. All right. Uh, okay. So I have a question. Can everybody see this screen right here? Let me know if you can see it because I did share the screen and I just want to make sure that you all are seeing what I'm seeing. And if you can't see it, then you'll just have to watch the playback. But just make sure that you follow along nonetheless, so that way we can try to get as much practice as we can in. Now, with all that being said, this is part 2 of main idea. We're just reviewing main idea, where to find it, how to identify it, what's in the main idea, and along the lines, we will be able to create our own main ideas. Okay. And I cannot take credit for this PowerPoint presentation. Again, I found this great resource online. So shout out and thank you to Miss Tracy Stewart, who created this wonderful and colorful PowerPoint about main idea. And we're going to go ahead and just get started. All right. So yesterday we talked about what is the main idea, how do we find it, and how do we remember it? Because remember, the main idea tells you what the story or the passage is about. It tells you what's happening. Doesn't necessarily tell you what's happening, what's going on. That's the supporting details, and we'll get to those today. All right. So just a quick review. All right. A main idea tells what a story is mostly about. All right. When looking for main idea, we must think of what finally happened in the story. So, for example, um, I don't know, uh, Cinderella. I always use Cinderella as an example. I don't know why Cinderella comes in my head. But Cinderella, we know what that story is about. It's basically a rags to riches story. Okay. And it talks about a young girl, a young pretty girl who has to live with her stepmother and her stepsisters who are very mean to her. And we see that she had the confidence and she was, a very sweet girl. Things happened along the way, but she met her Prince Charming. So that's the main idea of that story. It's a rags to riches story. And it's actually a story of inspiration, if you really want to look at it that way. All right. Think about the movies that you watch. Think about the TV shows that you watch. Even think about the songs that you listen to. Everything that we watch, everything that we listen to, it has a central point. It has a main idea. All the love songs, all the breakup songs, the songs that gets us in our feelings, they have a main idea. And the reason why is because when we identify the main idea, especially with songs, we can relate to them. Okay. So just a thought. You can basically put main idea with anything. All right. So this next part, I'm going to briefly talk about this next part, but we necessarily don't have to do all of this unless it helps you. So just keep in mind, I just found this simply because I like the colors and I think they're very vibrant and I think they're very pretty, but it does have a lot of great information. So we're going to go ahead and use our hands. Look, Ma, no hands. Um, how do we find the main idea? All right, so the thumb stands for who. The who of a story is very important. Without knowing who the story is about, we can't find the main idea. And a lot of times, it necessarily don't have to be a who. Sometimes it can be a what, depending on what the story is. Okay. The pointer finger stands for did what, for who did what or what did what. Okay. What did the main character finally do? So again, the main character and what did they do? Or what did he or she or it do? Now, the middle finger. I will not raise up my middle finger because that's a setup, and you will not catch me on camera throwing any middle fingers. Miss Hampton threw me a middle finger. No, I did not. Um, how do we find the
Good
main
morning.
idea? Good morning. All right. The middle finger stands for where. So where did the main character do whatever they did? Where did they do it at? So far we have a who, we have a what, and we have a where. Okay. So all of these things play a very important part when you are trying to figure out what the main idea is. Okay. How do we find the main idea? The ring finger, which is this finger right here. The ring finger stands for when. When did it happen? So we got a who, what, when. We got a who, what, where, and when. Now, I'm just going to go off a guess and say the pinky finger may be the why. I don't know. I'm just going to take a guess. And I could be wrong. So let's just find out. See, I was right. So the pinky finger stands for the why. So why did the main character do what he or she did? So we got a who or what, when, where, and why. Okay. Those are all important details as it relates to trying to figure out the main idea. Now my mouth is, oh no, can't even taste my water. Okay, so again, I apologize for any crazy faces that you may see. Okay. All right. So we got the main idea. In my hands, I got the main idea. In my hands, I got the main idea. In my hands, I got the main idea in my hands. Little song selection for you. Hope you enjoyed it. All right. So remember, you got your who, your what, your when, your where, your when, your why. They're not necessarily focused on the how they did it. The how they did it was more towards the supporting details. Okay. So that's just a recap of that. Who did what, where, when, and why. All right, so we're going to
You okay? You hungry? Okay, go downstairs. Huh? You want to
um
stay for a little bit?
okay, well, this is just a friendly reminder because we are recording. Make sure that your phone or your audio is on mute, so that way you can cancel out any background noises and stuff. Okay, just a friendly reminder. But make sure we feed the babies too. That's important. All right. All right. So now what I want to do, pass all this because I don't even know what all this is right here. All right. All right. Let me go. All right. Here we go. So this is just the story that I guess the Tracy Stewart educator used. Um, but what I want to do now is I want to switch off for a quick second. The story is called Too Many Tamales. I've never read the story, but this is the story that she used as her example of figuring out the main idea with the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why. But feel free. All right. But now what I want to do, let me see. Oh, all right. Okay, hopefully you all can still see the screen. Please take yourselves off of mute for a quick second and let me know if you can see this screen.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Um, and I had someone else joining me. Now if you're calling from the phone, then of course I know you cannot see it. So therefore, please make sure you watch the playback. But if whomever, I think that was right. If you can see the screen, that's wonderful. All right. So what I want to do is I want to do a couple of practice um, problems with you all based on finding the main idea. And you can actually get this from slideshare.net, as you can see up here. Just type in main idea. And this is actually GED prep. Um, I guess prep questions or practice questions, um, prep exercises, if you will, for the main idea. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to do a couple of them with you all, and then I'm going to let you all work on some by yourselves. And for anybody that's watching the playback, you'll have one to do on your own to turn into me. All right. So let's just read this. So I'm going to read this out loud, and then we are going to discuss what the idea could be or what it couldn't be. Is that somebody buzzing? I think that's somebody buzzing. Not quite sure. Just okay, all right. Just a friendly reminder again, this video is recording. So please make sure that you have your cameras off and your phones on mute. Okay. That's very important. All right. It says the students had fun on their field trip. They visited Lee Turkey Farm. They were able to tour the farm and see the turkeys. They also got to explore the corn maze. Afterwards, they ate a picnic lunch on the grass and played with their friends. What is the main idea of this story? And you can put it in your own words, or a lot of times with main idea, you can actually use what they've already given you, or you can paraphrase what it is that you're trying to say. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, I forgot I can move that. Okay, let me move that over here. Oh, I forgot I can move that. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what the main idea of this story is. Okay, so I'll read it again. The students had fun on their field trip. They visited Lee Turkey Farm. They were able to tour the farm and see the turkeys. They also got to explore the corn maze. Afterwards, they ate a picnic lunch on the grass and played with their friends. What's the main idea of this paragraph? Okay, so the main idea of the paragraph is I don't think I can write on here. The students had fun on their field trip. So I'm going to move my cursor here where it says the students had fun on their field trip. So everything else are the supporting details. It goes into detail and it talks about what happened on the field trip, what they did, maybe how they did it, maybe why they did it. So it goes into more detail as to what actually happened. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. So the answer is the students had fun on their field trip. Now, a while back, we did talk about the two types of main idea. We talked about how a main idea can be explicit, meaning it's clearly stated or directed. And we talked about an implicit main idea, which is not clearly stated or not clearly directed, which leads into inferences. So if you missed the video on inferences, I always want to do this. I'll leave a little link somewhere up there to where you can click on about inferences. And it's also in the playlist of the playback videos as well. But I'm going to see if I can link that up there. In the videos that make YouTube like, yeah, I always wanted to do that. Anyway, so that is our answer. And it says the main idea is directly stated in the first sentence. All right. So again, we talked about yesterday how the main idea can be found most of the time beginning of the sentence. Okay. Bloop, and I'm back. All right. Haven't found a way to cut my camera off while I'm sharing the screen, so I'm working on it. But until then, I'm just gonna cover the camera. All right. So what did were used for medicine? So the first question you have to ask yourself is this an explicit main idea or is this implicit? So that's the first thing you have to ask yourself, making sure that you recognize the difference between something that's clearly stated and something that is not as clear or is not directed, not directed.
Would it be like Native Americans adapting to their new habitat?
Ooh, okay then, daughter. I see what you did there. I like I like that right there. Yeah, remember, nothing has changed except the fact that I'm on a computer screen and not in front of you. So nothing has changed. But okay then, my September person. This one is a small one. It's real history. All right, so yeah, I'll figure it out. I promise I'll figure it out. But yeah, so I will read this one out loud because I didn't read it the first time. This is very short. It says the rainforest is home to many creatures. Monkeys, toucans, and macaws, I think I said, live in the rainforest. Butterflies and anteaters also live in the rainforest. What is the main idea of this paragraph?
The different species that live in the rainforest.
The different species that live in the rainforest. So let's see if daughter is right. Remember, um, ReadWorks is an excellent resource that I use for practicing vocabulary, reading comprehension, and all the different elements that we have been talking about. So you can actually make you a free account, and it is free. Remember, Miss Hampton will never ever give you anything that I would have to pay for because that's just silly. But with everything that's going on with the pandemic, a lot of the resources that you normally would pay for, they're more than likely going. I don't know.
It's foot dribbling.
Huh?
It's foot dribbling.
Oh,
Not the same thing.
that's fair. They also learn how to control the ball so they can pass, so they can eventually score. Most importantly, soccer players learn how to work together with their teammates. What is this paragraph talking about? It was right in the middle. All right, so this assignment is for the playback people. Thank you, Raven. You can put yourself back on mute now, dear. All right, so now I am going to give the playback people an assignment. So this is going to be your assignment. It's explicit, meaning that it's clearly stated, or if it's implicit, meaning that it's not clearly stated. So that's the first thing I want you to think about. The second thing is I want you to see if the main idea is in the beginning, is it in the middle, or is it at the end? Okay, so those are, again, some techniques that you can use to determine whether or not you have an explicit main idea, an implicit main idea, or where to find it. Okay, so we're just going to apply everything, all the techniques that we've learned during the course of this class, and we're just going to apply it. Okay, so just remember, this is, and let me know. So, or text me and let me do passcode is now. It says they are hosting a free webinar series to support remote teaching and learning. So if you are a parent, so let me talk to my parents for a quick second. If you are a parent, or if you know somebody that's a parent who has a child that is struggling with reading comprehension, vocabulary skills, and identifying different literary elements, this is for you. And it is free. They have free webinars that they host. I don't want to say every day. As you see right here, they have the different types of webinars, and I believe they're through Zoom. So please make sure that you take an opportunity to watch these. They're very, very important. I mean, you do learn a wealth of information, a ton of information. Okay. So see, due to COVID-19, yeah, we don't want to talk about COVID. We just don't. All right. So I just wanted to show you all very, very quickly. They have reading passages, which I normally, with my students, we normally do the reading passages. Article a day sets. Basically, those sets are for the younger, I would say maybe younger readers, like maybe kindergarten through fifth grade, the elementary stage. They basically have a theme, and you just read an article a day based on that theme. And of course, you have discussion and you ask questions. Okay. And then they have this thing called a paired text, where the paired text, there, of course, there'll be two texts, but they'll have and they'll talk about a particular topic. All right. But let me show y'all this real quick. This is gonna blow your mind. You can also go through curriculum and support. They have question sets and vocabulary activities. They also have ES. For each level, you step up and you continue to gradually grow in your reading. Um, they also have the human voice audio, meaning if you know someone that is learning English as a second language, and of course, reading English would, of course, be a challenge for them, you can actually play them the story and it can read the story to them. Okay, it pronounces some vocabulary words when you go to the vocabulary section of it. But if you are an ESL teacher, or if you're someone that's learning English as a second language, ReadWorks is your friend. Because when I was teaching ESL, I would go to ReadWorks all the time. All right. All right. So, real quick, for my parents, again, I'm just spreading information. All right. That's what this. All right. And then they have special things. Oh, look at the babies. Aren't they so cute? So they have the article a day, like I was explaining. They have the article a day sets. They also have the paired text. So again, this is something that I use for my students. Okay. Featured paired text. All right. I want to see. Okay, so again, they have all topics: science, social studies, literary, skills and strategies. So again, skills and strategies are for the people that again, may have a difficulty with understanding how to pick out the main idea, how to tell the difference between implicit and explicit main ideas. I am going to really. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to see if we can find. Okay. E-reading worksheets is another resource that I use, which is also free. And e-reading worksheets, these are PDF files or Word documents that you can print out yourself. They also come with answers, and sometimes they do have the explanations of the answers. And I think I've probably gone through all of these. I'm not quite sure. They also have a main idea lesson. And I think I've done that already. Um, yeah, I really feel like I already did this for some reason. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry. Just had to make sure I saved it. Okay. Add this as a page for practice. Okay. So for anyone again that is watching the playback, and I am going to make it bigger, so don't worry. I know you probably can't see that, but I am going to zoom in and make it a lot bigger. Okay, that's way too big. Okay, so hopefully you all can see that. Okay. All right. All right. I don't know if you all can see from that vantage point or not. A robonaut. That's fair. Robonauts are robots helpers designed to work side by side with astronauts. Work on the first robonaut began in 1997. By 2002, Robonaut B was revealed to the public. Robonaut B featured interchangeable lower bodies like four-wheel mode or hydraulic legs. Yet scientists and engineers continue to improve Robonaut. In February of 2010, Robonaut 2 was released to the public. Robonaut 2 moved 4 times faster than the first Robonaut. An advanced version of Robonaut 2 was finally tested in outer space in 2011. Robonaut 2 functioned exactly as designed. Okay, so I read that out loud, and your goal is to find out what the main idea of this particular story is. Okay, so this is another assignment or another practice for the playback video. So if anyone is, again, watching this playback video, you have 2 assignments. So please make sure that you are following assignments in its full entirety. Okay. Title. You do not have to find or make up a title for this story. I am just concerned with seeing if you can create a main idea or if you can find the main idea. Okay. Automation is the use of machines to reduce the need for human labor. In other words, automation is when jobs done by people became jobs done by robots. Automation can be a good thing. Clothing, cars, and other manufactured products are available at good prices in large supply because of automation. But automation can also be a bad thing. Because of automation, there are over 700,000, and my tooth is still killing me. I think I've managed to do a pretty good job so far with my tooth aching and all the talking I've been doing, I really think that I've done a pretty good job, with maintaining the quality content and of what I'm giving you all. So hopefully, I pray that this lesson, you can get some practice out of it. I pray that it does you really, really well. Because again, it's very important that you apply these things, not only to your English GED exam, but also science and social studies as well. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. And then with a dry throat, that's why I'm drinking my water, and this toothache, that's why I'm just like, oh my god. But again, I really do appreciate you all. Normally, again, these videos normally be about an hour long, but due to my toothache and I have to prepare for my next class. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this session a little bit early, just a smidge early. Don't be expecting it though, okay? Do not be expecting it to be in early. Oh, okay. Well, this is actually a good question. Test centers that are open, I got y'all. I take care of y'all. All right. So that was a very good question. Oh, so I can pay. Yeah, been hearing a lot of people say that they can pay for the test and take the test at home. I don't know how true that is, but I can of course find out and let you know. But I've been hearing different conversations about that. Like I said, I don't know how true it is, and I really don't go off of that. All right. So good morning, Mr. Neal. I see you.
Good morning, Miss
Okay,
Monica.
so with Khan Academy, do we got to do the work on there, or does coming to the virtual class help the hours?
Both.
Okay, cause with Khan Academy, I don't. It's not showing no assignments for me.
Okay, now I just posted some assignments. So what you'll have to do is hit the refresh button. Because I literally just posted some stuff for science and for my math.
Okay.
So just make sure you keep hitting that refresh.
I have a problem signing in.
Oh, okay. Well, I will text you in a moment, okay?
All right.
All right.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye, Jeremiah.